watch
Okay.
myself.
I don't like to read directions, John.
I know, Mayor. That's what I'm for.
I don't like doing that. But I do like going on at 3 o'clock to be with my friends
Oh boy,
and do a snippet.
that's exciting.
Yeah, John. Are you logging us on?
Yeah, I gotta get us here. Hold on.
I'm watching because I think I can tell if you're logged on or not.
Let me see.
Some weird
I think
thing.
I'm here.
Well, it doesn't show on there yet.
Here I am.
Okay. You're logged on. I'm trying to look. I'm like Mr. Magoo here.
Here I am.
Trying to look. So it's 3 o'clock and I'm in my losing my voice cycle, so bear with me. This happens a couple times out of the day and very unexpected. Is that good or not good?
Yeah, you see the ironing board, right?
Okay. But we decided that these snippets were
Hi,
good.
Donna, good to see you.
Hello.
Excuse
So I
me.
forgot. This is Marilyn and John.
I forgot too.
It's done by me, coming to you live from Magnolia Hall on the Delaware. What you say, Delaware? You're in Delaware? No, Delaware River, John.
Okay, Mayor.
Delaware River, New Jersey.
Down by
New
down.
Jersey.
Where are we though?
Where? New
We're
Jersey?
in the tavern.
We're in the tavern. And I've been busy with, now how many months has it been? When did we start this basement, John? September?
Last year, yeah.
September. So I've been doing the walk of shame since September. And when I ask, everybody says, or pretty much everybody says that they have areas in the house that it's a walk of shame. You walk through and you're ashamed of yourself for allowing stuff to get to that point, or you're ashamed of John for throwing stuff willy-nilly, John, all
Willy-nilly.
over.
Hey,
And-
Carol, good to see you.
And as soon as you get an area cleaned up, you can guarantee somebody will fill it. Right, John?
Somebody will fill it.
Somebody. We're
We
not
don't know
saying who.
but somebody.
Somebody. One person cleans up, the other person fills the empty area. But anyway, I'm walking the walk of shame and trying to get caught up. And like we said, we had a couple rooms in this basement done and or finished. And we did most of the family room. There's just a little bit left in there. And we did, what else have we done, John?
The attics.
Yep. Oh, yeah. The 2 kids' attics, the 2 rooms in the attic. And now we're working in what is supposed to be a sewing room, but it became a dumping area, so it had all my jewelry making things. It has all the tablecloths that I collect. It has all the cloth napkins in there. So it's an awful lot for a very tiny room. And how big do you think that room is, John? 8 by 10? What?
8 by 10.
Oh, I think it's
8 by 10.
I think it's 8 by 8. No. How big do you think it is?
I wouldn't even know what to guess.
We'll measure it. When we go up there, we'll measure it. But it's a very small room, considering that the ceiling is like this. So I can only walk down this one side, the inner wall. Over here is the head knocker. Every time you go to do something over there, guarantee you forget that the ceiling's low and you knock your head. And growing up in a tall family, just about everybody in our family has had to have some sort of emergency reconstruction from cracking their head on something. I remember coming home one time and my dad had been working in the basement and it was hot and he had on one of his winter hats and out of the back of it was a paper towel hanging with some red marks on it. He had cracked his head and repaired it himself, paper towel and a hat. And when we came home, he finished what he was doing and then went over to the ER and had it professionally repaired. So it's an obstacle when you're like 6 feet, and I was the shortest person in my family. My brothers and my father were substantially taller than that. So kind of funny, not funny. But of course we're in this small house and everything's really, well, not all the ceilings, but up in that one attic, they're very low because of the roof. But we're back on doing the snippets, and we'll do a lot of little pop-ups like that, just a quick little project, another little step of something. If you catch us live, that's wonderful. If you watch the replay, that's wonderful too. We would appreciate you just putting replay if you watch it. And but we're going to go back to what we made the other day, and of course it's the 8x8 square. And I made a post today. If you have any ideas of what you want to see, I have quite a few ideas, but I'm always open for some other ones. And this would make a cute little pot holder. You could put a backing on it, turn it inside out and all. And maybe I'll make a couple pot holders to show. But you would probably want something a little thicker because you'd be grabbing something hot. And I don't think that one layer of quilt batting is going to cut it. I know most of the pot holders you get really aren't substantial.
Hey Michelle, how you doing?
Hey.
Spaceman Crafting with
Hi Michelle. So I'm taking this 8x8 and we're going to show some other stuff, but we're just going to finish this today into a little project. And this makes a great gift for somebody. It's a great project for yourself, but I found if you're going to do a little gift, it's quick. Use all the things like I showed you the other day. I suggested and I showed on, what night was it? Sunday?
What?
Sunday we were on? Yeah, Sunday.
Sunday?
I showed how
Was
to
it
do
Sunday?
this. Yeah. And it's a great little gift and it's really quick. And if you use all things you already have, it's basically a free project. Just your time and your love. Now I cut another piece of fabric. And what size is this piece of fabric, John?
That one?
Yeah.
What's it? 8 by 10?
No, it's 8x8, John.
It's 8 by 8?
Another 8x8. So this piece is 8x8. Now, when you see what you're making, you may want to adjust. You may feel, oh, I want it a little smaller or I want a little bigger. I'm just giving you measurements so you kind of have an idea. And then, like I said, once you make it, you may want to change it up. So again, this is 8x8. So I'm going to take this piece I have here, and I'm going to pin, which you can't see because my trusty old sewing machine is here. And this sewing machine made thousands of pillows for when John had his store. And we sold how many a year, John?
1,000.
1,000 pillows a year, about. And they're all made on this little guy here. And I need to find somebody to service it. I can service it myself, but...
Michelle says, yep, it was Sunday.
Yep. So I put the two right sides together.
All the days run together, Michelle.
Yeah. I have that, and then I have the right
She
sides.
says 8 by 8.
So I'm putting the two sides together, and depending on what kind of sewing machine you have, I know people use those little clippy things. Some sewing machines you don't want to sew over pins. So let me get some action here. And I haven't used my sewing machine for a while, have I, John?
No.
I just burned out on the sewing machine. And this machine got myself and my roommate through college. We both studied clothing, textiles, and related arts. So I was really into, oh John, would you plug my iron in, please? So we're just making a seam on the top and whatever size seam you're comfortable with. Typically a seam is 5/8 inch, but do what you're comfortable with. This doesn't have to be an exact science. So now I'm trying to decide, should I can just sew this down. So you can iron this. I'm going to sew it down. So I'm going to sew really close to the seam on the print rather than the quilted piece, and I'm going to have the seam go that direction.
Michelle says she remembers because she was in the tavern too.
Yeah. You came and joined us. Pull my threads back, and if you don't have a sewing machine, again, you can do this by hand, but I'm telling you, you can get some sewing machines inexpensive online on the marketplace. And I'm going to hold that side down. This isn't necessary. If you want to skip this step, that's fine. And if you want to iron it first, so it's maybe a little bit easier for you. And like I said, I taught my granddaughter how to use the sewing machine, and I spent like 15 minutes showing her, oh, sew on this paper straight line and all. And I'm like, I'm so bored. Let's move on and just start sewing on fabric. So anyway, I don't know whether you can see, I sewed just really close to the seam on this side, and I kept this seam going down. Now sometimes, can I have the iron now, hon? Sometimes if you iron it, that will help you at first. If you iron, it does make everything much easier. I didn't want the iron on the table because the sewing machine would shake it right off. I was concerned. And like I said, I used to have an industrial sewing machine, a big industrial one. And when I taught years and years ago, oh man, how many years ago was that? 40-some years ago. The, I don't want, can you put this back over? I'm gonna need it again.
So leave it plugged in?
Yeah, leave it plugged in. The principal wanted me to make boat covers for him out of canvas. It was the worst project I ever had. And then I got rid of the machine. I was so frustrated. So anyway, I just ironed it, so now it's like this. So I have these two pieces together. And I'm going to fold it this direction, and I'm going to match up, trying to match as close as I can where those seams are. And again, it doesn't have to be exact. Unless you're giving this to a professional quilter that will critique your work, it's not necessary to be so exact. And I guess if you're going to give somebody that's going to critique your work, you may not choose to give it to them.
Hi Angie, good to see you. She says she wishes she could sew.
Yeah, you can sew by hand. All this can be sewn by hand. So now I have it folded in half like this. I have this seam where they are matched up to the best. It doesn't have to be perfect, like I said. So now we're going to start here on the quilted piece. We're going to sew down, we're going to sew down, and we're going to go all the way down. And I guess you can, when you figure out what I'm making, you can shout out to John.
Oh, hey Roseanne, good to see you. Happy New Year to you.
Yeah, I don't know whether Roseanne, does she have a sewing machine? Do you sew, Roseanne? I forget.
I don't know if she heard it.
Roseanne, I don't know whether you have a sewing machine and you sew or not, but if you don't have a sewing machine, all this I showed you could be done by hand. That's what I did the other day. This part's a little easier with a machine. Now I'm going to come up this side. And I'm like a mad woman. But when I hear people sewing with the new sewing machine, I find it, and I'm going to jump this pin, so I'm going to do it cautiously. But a lot of machines you can't jump a pin, so do what's best for your machine. And I'm sorry I'm losing my voice, so I'm going to do the best I can here. It's my daily struggle. So now in this corner, I'm going to snip off the extra, but I'm not going to cut into, where my seam is, but I'm going to take that bulk off. My seam's down here, I haven't cut into it at all. And see what I have. Do you know what this is yet?
Angie says I usually glue everything with the fabric glue.
Yeah, I don't know whether you could glue this project or not. I take the pin out. Yeah, it's always good to take the pin out. I remember I used to pull all-nighters making my clothes for school and for high school, and I'd go to school with almost no sleep. And I remember teachers lecturing like in history or something, and I found it very uninteresting at that particular time. Now I love history, and I remember leaning there like this on my arm and waking up, and I had drooled into my book. I'm like, oh, that's embarrassing. But I remember ironing and putting on clothes, and like there was still a pin in it. But I went to a school where many of the kids, there were haves and have-nots, but mostly haves in our school. And they would have these beautiful villager and ladybug clothes. And
hey Jill, good to see you. She guesses an eyeglass case.
bing, 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 and she guessed right. You know what I need to do first? Do I need to sew that first? Oh, it's been so long since I made this. I think I need to sew the bottom seam in this, John. So what I'm doing is, before I turn it, we'll go back. Before I turn it, I'm just going to fold it under just a little bit like that, and then I'm going to top stitch that close to the edge. But these are wonderful gifts. It's easiest before you fully construct it, when you just have your first quilted square. You can do some embroidery on it. It's a good opportunity to practice some of your embroidery stitches. If you like, while you're watching TV, it's kind of fun sometimes to get out an embroidery book and just practice, because it can be randomly anything. Okay, so now I just sewed across the bottom. Well, you know what, John?
What, Mare?
Would have been good if I thought this out. I used to make so many of these. We sold them, a lot of them down the shore. People liked them for their sunglasses, so sometimes they need to be a little bigger when those big sunglasses are popular. Oh, John, now I have to remember to turn it inside. Wait a minute. Let's think this out now. Can I do this at this point, John, or do I need to rethink this? And I may have made a mistake. Let me rethink this. Don't you hate it? I thought I knew what I was doing because I made so many years ago, but I haven't made one of these for probably like 8 years. And this is called the fine art of taking stuff out. And how many years have I been sewing, John? Since I was 10 years old.
That's a long time, Marilyn.
Yeah, long time.
That's a lot of stitches.
A lot of stitches. I remember going on a 6th grade class trip, and I wanted a new dress for the trip. And I always liked clothes, and I never had much when I was growing up. Part of the difficulty was I was like 5'10" in 6th grade and probably weighed under 100 pounds. So getting clothes to fit was impossible.
Hi, Karen. Good to see you.
So we will get this torn out, guys. So you see, I'm the first one to say I'm not perfect. And if I dunk it out, of course my shaky hand doesn't help. Okay. So now I'm back to, I opened that seam and I'm going to turn it right side out. So if you have, like in the good old days, like 15 years ago when I first met John, and I'm going to snip off this little bit extra in this corner here, right here. When I first met John, I only wore glasses, the reading glasses for actually reading. So if we went to a restaurant or something, I would wear the reading glasses. But now I need them all the time for seeing anything that I actually have to see up close. So it's going to be a bit of a struggle, John, to turn this inside out. And if I had brought a ruler, it would have been easier. But since the ruler is 5 flights up from the basement here. And
hey, Randy, good to see you.
And if...
Hope your dog's doing better. She wants to know how the weather is. It's 48 in Florida.
Oh, boy.
I think we're right around freezing, but the wind chills are in the 20s, I think, Randy. Last time I looked, it could be a little colder, I'm not sure, but...
So I'm using a pencil to try to help to turn this inside out. It's a little bit of a struggle. The hardest part is remembering how to make it, and the second hardest part is turning it inside out.
Hi, Judy. Good to see you.
Is that Judy Davis?
Yes.
Hi, Judy. Don't look at my sewing, Judy. But we're turning this inside out. And as soon as I get a little peek of this, it'll go faster. Yeah, I haven't made one of these for so long, I forgot all about it. I thought it would
Randy
come
said-
back to me like riding a bike.
Randy says her dog is slowly improving, and thanks for
good.
asking. Well, we're glad to hear it, Randy.
Yeah, John includes you in your dog in the prayers every day.
Judy says it's as good as mine with hearts.
So now I'm just pulling the corners out up here, and I'm sorry it's a little hard to see because my sewing machine is here, and but I'm going to use a pin, and I'm just going to go in and kind of dig in there and pull the corner out the best I can at this time. And we'll just turn this inside out, get both the corners good. Like I said, this is the 8x8 size. If you have bigger glasses, you may want to make it bigger, wider than 8 inches. So
8 by 10.
Yeah, make it 8 by 10. And now I've just folded
Angie
this
says,
down.
is it an eyeglass case? Question mark.
Yeah, it is an eyeglass case. And now I'm just going to pull my threads over here. At one point in life, I was student teaching, and that was like, I don't know how many times I went back to school, but I went back to school about 50 years ago to get certified to teach, and they put me in a room. It was two teachers that had this class, and they put me in the room, and I don't know, there might have been 40 kids sewing, and it's a little challenging with kids learning, and they were 7th or 8th grade. They were like middle school kids, and you had this whole room of all this stuff. Well, everybody in their machine, you hear them getting all tangled, all this stuff. They're all having problems. So then you have to get them, they're all yelling, help me, help me, help me, I'm knotted up. Now you had to learn all quick sewing machine repair. And then I finally decided they'll put the, oh, it had 2 teachers. I was under 2 teachers. So previously, this was taught by 2 teachers. But as a student teacher, they could walk away and leave me with the kids. And so the kids would write their names on the board as they needed help. Well, the list would be, every kid would be on the list, but you have to start and go to them. And it was chaotic. And they had told me at the time that one of the students swallowed a needle or a pin or something. And they went to the school nurse and she made them eat bread. And I'm like, oh, don't let that happen. I'm like, as soon as I saw anything go near their mouth, I would yell. So now I sewed across the bottom here and I have some little threads, so let me trim them up.
Angie says she needs one of those cases. Her glasses are hard and heavy in her purse. And you're welcome, Randy.
Yeah, so they're really easy, and you can put this, now I have it like
Fred,
this.
Good to see you.
And
She said she's waiting as her sister gets an injection today.
Oh, geez. So I sewed this end up, I just folded it under a little, sewed it up. So now it looks like that, and then I'm just gonna put the lining in it. Push it right in there. You can use a ruler, probably would have been a better choice to have down here. But if I asked John to go up and get the ruler, the line would be over and he'd be coming back huffing. That's part of worth doing the walk of shame, doing the sewing room. It's four flights up from the first floor, and if we're down here, it's 5 flights up. So now we have it. I just turned it inside out, and there we have our glass case. Now this is really cute. Like I said, you can do all kinds of embroidery on here. You can sew buttons on it. I would probably decorate it before I put the lining and turned it inside out. It would be easier. You can put a cord on here and hang it around your neck. You can make it bigger and use it for a little handbag. So if you did a 12 by 12 or something, you'd have a little handbag that you could hang with your purse on it and all.
Randy says it's so pretty.
And there we have it. And my glasses
Boy, how do you like that?
fit in, and there's plenty of room in there for if they were bigger glasses.
Nice. The kind that Angie needs.
Yeah. But you can make them bigger or however you want them. But you could put them on a cord and
Carol says it's very pretty.
have it hang
Thanks,
on you.
Carol.
It makes an awesome gift. And these are nice for people for their sunglasses, for throwing in their beach bag and have some sunglasses. Or, see, we live in New Jersey, so going to the beach is always a big deal. But it's a great little project. It's a great gift.
Michelle loves it.
If you were giving like a teacher gift, or there's just a lot of things where you don't want to spend a lot of money, and you can have this made within a relatively short time. So I don't know whether anybody had any questions. Feel free to send me questions if you have them. But that's how easy it is, and it's really cute, and you can pick people's favorite colors. I'll show you some more complicated, but I just wanted to show you the simplest project. We sewed the strips together by hand, and then the other part we did by machine, and it was really quick.
That was from the live the other day.
Yep, the live the other day that I sewed the strips together by hand just to show you. And you could have done this by hand also, but in order to keep it a snippet, just a short little fun project that obviously had no preparation because I couldn't remember how to make it, but just a quick thing that doesn't entail a lot of prep. If I did a lot of prep, then I would like, oh, maybe I won't go today. But
Angie says, yep, very nice. She definitely needs to make one to get rid of her heavy cases.
Yeah, and it's just light. And if you are really careful, you have some very expensive glasses, or you're concerned about scratching your lenses, you could put flannel on, line it with flannel, and it would glide in and out easier.
Thanks for the hearts, everybody.
Yeah, so I thought this was fun. We have like 2 more quick snippets, and I don't know whether we'll come on later today or save them for tomorrow. But we just decided, and a lot of people said they enjoyed it. Thanks for the hearts, guys. That we would do a lot of just quick little projects, and some, I'll be doing a lot of these quilting things, but I'm interspersing. The next snippet, I think, will be something totally randomly different, and it's not even cooking, and it's not sewing, but it's something random that I think you'll really enjoy. And we're going to be doing that for a while. I know I'm in an event on what day, John?
Thursday.
Thursday at 9 o'clock. And
PM.
9 p.m.
Michelle says she's glad that she caught the live.
Yeah, so I thought this was fun, and like I said, if you have a question, you can go back and look at the video, but if you have something that you don't understand, feel free to reach out. In the meantime, if you haven't sewed, it's a good opportunity to, and you want to learn, it's a good opportunity to pick up a sewing machine. I know some of the stores you get lessons with it, but then you're paying a little bit more. But if you look on Marketplace, you can pick them up as little as $25, you know, and yard sales. So thanks for joining us today. I hope you liked the little project today. It was just a little snippet, just a quick little fun event. So thanks, guys. I may be on later today, depending on how my voice is holding up. Bye.